about Country John's fish and bananas. In about 1967, we left San Francisco on a plane to go up to Vancouver, British Columbia, to play at the Kitsilano Theater in the Kitsilano district up there. And on the plane ride up there, Chicken Hirsch, the drummer, told me, he said, "You know, I figured out last night that banana peels have the same chemical composition as marijuana. And if you take the banana peels and you dry them, and the white stuff inside the banana peels, you know, if you roll that up and smoke it, it'll get you high." You know, and I thought, well, that's a great idea, you know, because we were kind of poor then. We were living on peanut butter and banana sandwiches. We just threw the peelings away, you know. And so we went up to Kitsilano, landed, and took the equipment and the roadies and everything, and went over to the Kitsilano Theater. While they were loading up the equipment and setting up stuff on the stage for the sound check, we went over to a mom and pop grocery store in the corner, got a bunch of bananas. We went across the street to this psychedelic shop. We knew the people over there. I asked Linda, who ran the place, I said, you know, Linda, I told her about the banana peel thing and asked her if we could use the kitchen in the back room, the oven, you know, and she said, yeah, sure, go ahead. You know. So we went back in and we ate the bananas, of course. And then we put the peelings. We set the oven on a very low temperature so we wouldn't destroy the THC in the banana peels. And so then we put the peels inside the banana in the oven, you know. So we went back across the street to the Kitsilano Theater to see how it was going, you know. And the stage crew over there knew us, so we played there before, and they said, you see that quart water jar over there where we just dissolved 100 tabs of LSD in that water jar, and if you want some, just help yourself, you know. And so we said thanks, you know. And we went over and took a couple sips off the water jar, and then we did, you know, our sound check. So we went back across the street waiting for the show to start, you know, back into the back room in the psychedelic shop, and we would test the banana peels, but you know, they were much too damn deep to think about smoking, so we were just chilling back there, you know, shooting the shit and whatever. And so the roadies come, said it's time for the first set. So we go back across the street and we, you know, go up on stage, take a couple sips off that water jar, and then we play our first set. So then after the intermission, we went back across the street, you know, back into the psychedelic shop, back in the back room. We sit down there and test the banana peels, and they're pretty dry by now, you know. So we start rolling up those banana joints, you know. We roll up about 25, 50 banana joints. We're sitting there for about an hour, you know, smoking these banana joints, looking at each other. Are you getting high? I don't know, man. You getting a buzz? I don't know, maybe I'm getting a little buzz. I don't know, you know, maybe. Yeah, how about you? I don't know, man. Maybe, yes, you know. And so we do that for about an hour, and the roadies come over, they say, you know, it's time for the last set. So we go back across the street, we go up on stage, take a couple sips off that water jar, you know. And then we play Sweet Lorraine, you know, and we played Sweet Lorraine for an hour that night. I mean, there wasn't any problem with forgetting the lyrics or anything like that. We got it started really good, but we couldn't stop it once we got started. I remember that. Kind of panic set in, you know, and afterwards the press said, well, how come you did that? I said, well, we're into improvisation now. That's kind of a jazz thing, you know. So after that set, we ran back to the psychedelic shop back in the back room, started smoking those banana joints, looking at each other saying, I don't know about you, man, but I'm ripped. This shit is working, man. I am so high, I can't believe it, you know. And so we packed up the gear, we went all around Vancouver to a bunch of parties with this banana joints, you know, telling people, smoke it, man, this banana gets you high, you know. And they thought we were crazy, which we were completely crazy, you know. And so we flew back home to Berkeley, and the next day I was up on Telegraph Avenue at the Mediterranean Cafe with a pipe full of banana yuck, you know. And I made all my friends smoke it. I said, it's banana, man, it gets you high, really try it. They're going, yeah, right. Maybe, yeah, sure, you know. And so next morning I went over to the co-op to get our breakfast, and there was no bananas in the banana man. So I went over to Safeway, and there were no bananas there. You couldn't get a banana in the Bay Area that day. So I thought, wow, I'm walking back to our apartment. I thought, that's really weird, you know. And then I look at the San Francisco Chronicle in in the news rack, and it says, there's a big 3-inch headline that says, "Banana turn on, new hippie craze." I thought, oh yeah, okay. And then we forgot about it. And 3 months later, I'm reading the Chronicle, and way in the back is a little tiny headline that says, "DEA smokes banana joint." That's a drug enforcement agency. And so I thought, oh, that sounds familiar. And I read the story, and they got like a joint, they got joint smoking machines in Washington. You know, paid with taxpayers, probably cost $1 million a piece. General Electric probably made them, or Halliburton now, maybe. So they heard about the banana thing, and they puffed the banana joint through this machine. It came out nothing. Zero. The news article said it didn't do a thing. You know. Then I remembered the psychedelic water. So I took the paper over to Chicken's house and I said, "Man, you told us that you know, bananas get you high, but look at this article. The DEA just smoked banana. It doesn't do a damn thing. It was all that psychedelic water we drank that night to get us stoned." He said, "I forget about that. I figured out last night if you smoke a cigarette through a bell pepper, it gets you really high."